what's up, everybody? Welcome to Big Things Kentucky. Coach Bew, what's going on?
What's going on? Have no fear. Big Things Kentucky is here. I'm Coach Bew, my main man, Coach TB on assignment. Coach, you got a throwback on there, Coach.
Ah, man, I was up running around and got caught, man. But yes, once a Bearcat, always a Bearcat, baby.
Yes, sir. Say it again, Coach. Yes, sir. We had a good little run over there. We did. Good run.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, man, let's see what's been going on. Basketball, we've been live streaming a lot of games. We got a little kinks we working out and everything. But I think all in all, we getting a good, product out there. All Saturday. Shout out to Coach Johnson, Coach Jerron for the Ed Step Classic in Woodford County. Man, what a day. Had a lot of big games, saw a lot of great players. That was the day we want to just say thanks, Coach Johnson and Coach Brown.
Jerron Brown, yeah.
Them games, man.
Man, shout out to you holding it down, man. A lot of other folks would have to join you because they had stuff going on. I was working, so I wasn't able to be there. Ozone came after he refereed the game, did the last game with you. So shout out to you, man, all the work you did. You even made somebody's Twitter feed that your call on one of the games. So shout out to you for that.
Man, and we had a chance to have a special guest on our last game, Chris Lofton, Kentucky great, Tennessee legend. Chris Lofton came and joined us for the last game. So if you want to check that out, make sure you check that out.
Chris Lofton's like a play cousin. He's from Maysville. My family's from Pittsburgh. His family's from Pittsburgh. So he's a play cousin down the line there. So shout out to my cousin, Chris Lofton. And, man, it was good. What I got to see, the broadcast I got to see. Let me ask you a question. Coming out of that, are you more impressed with Douglas or who surprised you in that tournament?
Man, I'm going to tell you, that Newport team out of Northern Kentucky, they look really good. The big kid from Elizabethtown, he's going to be a problem for a lot of people. Douglas, man, I was impressed with Douglas. Douglas has been rolling on all cylinders since we've seen him all season. But Woodford, man, you can just, without Jasper, they got a lot of injuries. It's just, hopefully, everything clicks for the playoffs. Everybody comes back, and we see a true Woodford team. He makes a big difference.
Absolutely. I mean, he's one of the most talented players in the state right now as a junior. So, yeah, definitely. Man, I got a chance to talk to Coach Jonathan Richmond, who's assistant coach of Bryan Station. And he feels like that young Bryan Station team could be a problem.
That was another team, yes.
Could be a problem in coming in the end of the season and 1st of March. He was really impressed with his team. Because like I said, that fairly the point guard, he's just a freshman. So, man, shout out to Station and what they got coming up.
Man, they got two bigs, Gonzalez and Biggers.
I like Biggers.
Two guys, when they're on and clicking, Bryan Station's a problem.
Well, I watched you call that game. They playing Douglas. You've been a Biggers fan since last year. You've been a Biggers fan since last year. So, yeah, shout out to you on that. Man, I'm really, like I said, impressed with the team. Like I said, Douglas looks good. Mellow is mellow. But like I said, Station's young. It's going to be impressive to see.
Man, the thing is, the 11th region, we like to call it the Wild Wild West because you never know. Earlier this week, we had Madison Central beat North Laurel. That's kind of like the superstar team. And then we've got Taste Creek is starting to click. Henry Clay, you never know what you're going to get out of Henry Clay. We saw them earlier this week. You got Great Crossings. Lexington Catholic's ranked with the 7-footer. You know what I'm saying? We talked about Douglas, probably the hottest team in the state right now. So when this whole district and region titles get going, it's going to be interesting, man.
Absolutely. I'm excited about it, man. I think this is some of the best competition we've seen in the city in a long time. And everybody's still young. Like that young man, the Surratt kid at Lafayette.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's young. Now, let me ask you on the girl side, who are you looking at right now for the girl side you think will run away with it in the city?
In the city, so far, we've seen Lafayette. Haven't seen Henry Clay yet, so I don't really have a real feel for them. Great Crosses is doing things, but I think this one's going to come back to probably Franklin County again. They've kind of been the bully on the block as far as the region's concerned. Madison Southern looked good. Madison Central's had a good season. So it's going to be right now. As far as the city's concerned, we got a lot of young teams, young players. We got a lot of talent, but it's young. We've got some new coaches. So I think the city's almost rebuilding right now after that Dunbar,
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, they saying Coach Daniels got a rebuilding job over there,
Yeah.
which he did a great job rebuilding Woodford County, making them pretty decent. So
Yeah.
he can get it done. Now he's taking on some tough jobs. He can definitely get it done.
Yeah. So we got that coming up. That's gonna be good.
Okay. Now, Coach, man, you also doing middle school games on Wednesday. I think middle school's about to come to the end. Who's impressed you in the middle school so far? It's got to be Leestown, correct?
Man, Leestown. Actually, we're gonna have a special presentation next Monday. We're gonna have Leestown and Morton. Those are the top two teams that'll be going at it. So be sure to check that out.
Coach, I'm there. What time is it? I'm there.
6:25, we're going to start streaming. We normally do Wednesday's games, but since this one is on Monday, we got to get that one, Coach.
Coach, I ain't got to work. I'm there. Pencil me in. I'll be on the play-by-play with you.
All right, Coach. Now, other teams, hey, man, that Southern team, I really like the way they play. Southern has been impressive. So, like we said, we got Leestown and Morton are the two top teams so far. So stay on the lookout for that one, Coach. Coach, man, also the big news, this past week we had National Signing Day. And one thing I can say, man, is from our time doing Big Things Kentucky, the growth and explosion of this event, we have almost chronicled. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when we first started, we didn't have a lot of D1 kids signing, if any, for real, maybe one or two in our little area. Now we got a whole handful of kids signing D1, kids going everywhere, walk-ons. I mean, it's an amazing event. We just want to say congratulations to all those kids. Keep doing big things, Coach.
Man, from top of the board, Bryan Station had several kids signed. Elizabeth Tit to go play. Either, you had Damon Green in the UK, which is a big catch there. A lot of other kids going to other schools. I mean, you got Max DeGraff going to UK. Of course, Douglas did their thing with a group of kids. Some already committed, like Chops and all them guys. So it was good to see the city, like you said, have such a turnout of kids going. Keyshawn Dock, a big-time receiver for Taze Creek, signed with K-State. K-State back in the fray, Coach. Back in the city.
Yes.
You know what they did back when we was in college. Yeah, getting the Louisville and the Lexington kids. Yeah.
So now the thing about K-State is, it's kind of like figuring out what's going on now. I know they have an interim coach. Yeah. If he's the way he's recruiting and doing stuff, I mean, they might want to go on and make him permanent coach.
Man, shout out to him too. He makes a cat that played for us at the Ducks. Brandon Brooks committed to them. Great defensive lineman, offensive lineman, and then my guy Coach Nessenbach. That's my guy there for Duck. He committed, but yeah, K-State's on the move, Coach. I love what they're doing. I'm like you, make this man the head coach because he's out here doing what they used to do back in the day, recruit Lexington and Louisville.
Yeah. Now, one thing I do want to say that I was listening to an Eddie George interview, and he was talking about how he's at Tennessee State coaching, and he was saying when he was recruiting. They were like, when he first started, it was like, we're going to do X amount of JUCO kids, X amount of transfer kids, X amount of high school kids. But he was like, the way the portal and everything's checking out, as far as his level, that FCS level and lower, the transfer kid portals are pretty much taking over the D1 kids, that now it's about recruiting and developing kids. So these high school kids, those 3- and 4-star kids that are now starting to fall down. So it's up to K-State to get these kids that really, that are there. And like he said, just one thing to get them and develop them, but then you got to keep them.
Yeah, because so many kids want that chance to play on that top D1 level to see what's got. Yeah. So, yeah, it's hurting college football all around the board. But as you said, man, it doesn't matter where you go. First of all, you want to get that free education. You want to get that money, guaranteed money. 2, you want to get a chance to continue doing something you love. But as you know, playing 3 or 4 years you played, it's a job. It ain't necessarily like it was in high school. You got to be committed to it, work out at 6 a.m., but all this that comes with it. But that gets you ready for the next level.
Absolutely, Coach. Absolutely. Yeah. Tonight, we will be live from Bourbon County. Make sure you check out Ladies Night as we will have Lafayette. We get to see the Lady Generals again take on the Bourbon County Lady Colonels. So that's going to be interesting. Be sure to check that out. And we got a lot of other events coming. We doing live stuff, baby.
Hey, Coach, you been working. I don't know when you gonna take a break. Sundays you probably crash. That's why I didn't bother you too much. You been working, Coach. You been carrying the brand, pushing us forward. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get out and see these. All those games Coach now have done. Him, Q Walker, him
And
and Ozon, the laser
Marshawn, don't
gun.
you leave Marshawn out.
Marshawn is the T and the E and the R and terrible. He is. He's like,
Hey, 5 games, Marshawn did a great job this past weekend, man.
I'm telling y'all right now, Marshawn's on the short leash. You want someone to volunteer to be a cameraman, you are hired. And Marshawn's on the thin line. You know the thread you do to sew something? That's how thin Marshawn. My patience is with Marshawn. Now, I think he hits the bottle before he comes to the game because the action be this way. Marshawn over looking like he is. I think he on the bottle, but that's a whole other show right there. That's a whole other show.
Oh man, Coach. And but before I go, I just want to give a shout out to all our guest commentators that come on help us out. We had Natasha Alexander last week, like I said, Chris Lofton, Ozon Mitchell, my man Pierre's been doing things, little Rashad Bird. Man, you know, shout out to all those people who help keeping things going. And we just gonna keep doing big things, Coach.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to all those people that helping out. Of course, Q Walker and the crew from Beyond the Game when they able to get there, man. So it's good to see everybody getting on board and making this broadcast something special. Hey, man, as always, like, share, subscribe. It's a big day to Kentucky on YouTube. As always, yes, to be a living donor. I'm Coach Bew, my man, Coach TB on the side of the Coach Truck.
Peace.